why I'm passionate about the future of work. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Future in 5. My name is Jacob Morgan, and this is where I share my thoughts, ideas, and commentary on the future of work in 5 minutes or less. Today I might go over, just warning you in advance, I might go over by a minute or two, but I will try not to. And I frequently get asked why I'm so interested in the future of work, how I got involved in this space. And my friends over at SAP, Lindsay Nelson and Jeff Rallier, hopefully I'm saying Jeff's last name properly. Jeff, if not, I'm very sorry. But they sent me an email and they started, they asked me a question which really got me thinking about this. And I realized I never actually shared this story much with people. So I kind of wanted to give a little bit of background information about how I got involved in this space, why I'm so interested, why I'm so passionate about it. A lot of people ask me this at conferences and events, but I've never really, publicly shared this in a video or in a blog post. So thought now would be a good time to do it. So why am I so passionate about the future of work? People ask me that as if like some traumatizing thing happened to me. It's like, what happened to you? How did you get involved in this? And so there are a couple of things that kind of propelled me in this direction. So the first is I graduated from college in UC Santa Cruz. And after I graduated there, so I double majored in business management, economics, and psychology. I worked super hard. I graduated with, I think, a 3.8 or 3.9 GPA in my major. And after I graduated college, I moved back home to LA. And I was very excited. I worked my ass off. I thought, this is great. I'm going to get an awesome job, and I'm going to just tear things apart. And so I got this job working for a company in downtown Los Angeles. My commute was an hour and a half each way. So 3 hours a day I was in a car. And then those of you in LA know that the 405 and the 101 traffic is an absolute nightmare. Sometimes I'd have to go through Topanga Canyon, all brutal. And so I took a job working for this company because they told me that I would get to travel a lot. I would get to do presentations. I would get to meet a lot of influential business people. And I'd basically be doing a lot of the things that I wanted to do. And so I thought, okay, I'll take this opportunity. I know it's kind of a long schlep back and forth, but I'll do it anyway. It should be fine. A couple months in, and I am doing data entry, I'm creating PowerPoint presentations, and I'm doing cold calls for people. Not what I signed up to do. And one day an executive comes out of his office and he says, hey, Jacob, I have a meeting with somebody who's going to be here in a couple minutes. Do you mind running out and going to get us a cup of coffee? And the day that somebody asked me to go get them a cup of coffee was the day I knew that I could not work at that company anymore. I felt that I worked way too hard and have done far too much, with everything I've been doing in school to be able to have to go get anybody coffee. So that was experience number one. That was a red flag for me that kind of made me wonder, should I be working for other people or should I try to do my own thing? Shortly after that, I moved to San Francisco. So my buddy Brian Aragon, hi Brian, he was my college roommate and we actually lived together after I graduated college. And he lived in the Northern California area and I lived in Southern California at the time. And he's like, oh yeah, you should just come up, move to Northern California. My parents live out here, come stay with us for a little while we both look for jobs in the Bay Area. And I thought, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I literally threw all my clothes in my car into my Nissan Maxima. And I drove 400 miles up to go stay with Brian and his family. And I lived with Brian and his family for a couple months, I think it was 2 months or so, while we both looked for jobs in the Bay Area. We both found a job in the Bay Area, and I thought, okay, this is it. I'm very excited to work for this company. It's a big marketing and media agency. Should be a lot of fun. I was interested in search engine optimization and online marketing at the time, so it was a great fit. So I took a job working there, and one day I won a pass to go to a conference. It was the Web 2.0 Expo at the time. And it was like a $2,000 ticket. I got it for free. And so I went to my managers and I said, look, I have this pass to go to a conference. Can I go? And they said, no, you can't go. And I said, I don't have any client deliverables. I'll work on the evenings if I have to. I will do what I need to do on the weekends, but I really want to go to this conference. Plus, it'll also be beneficial for the company. Web 2.0 Expo, we're a marketing agency, makes a lot of sense. And they said no. And I said, why can't I go? And they said, just because you can't go. And that really clicked in my head that I was a cog that I always talk about. I was a cog. I was a slave working for other people, and I had to even get permission just to go outside. It was very, very upsetting for me. So shortly after that, I quit and I went off on my own. And I started doing all sorts of things. I put up jobs on Craigslist. I did writing. I wrote articles for $15 an article. I did all sorts of things. Search engine optimization consulting on the side. All sorts of odds and end projects. But it's sort of, at that time, a lot of these collaboration platforms like Jive and Yammer and, all these other guys, they were just starting to kind of be known. They were just starting to kind of evolve and develop in this space. So I got very involved in the enterprise collaboration space, and that sort of evolved into the future of work. And I just really became passionate about how to make sure that those types of experiences don't happen, and why do they happen to begin with. And so I spent a lot of time researching about employee engagement and employee happiness and looking at these technologies that are impacting the way that we work. And it was just very, very fascinating for me. So I started writing about that. I started talking to companies about that. That eventually led to a book that I wrote on collaboration. It led to, the publications. It led to speaking engagements. So why am I passionate about the future of work? Because I have had bad experiences in the workplace. And I know a lot of people have similar experiences. And I am very interested in, and I'm very passionate about figuring out a way to make sure that those experiences don't happen. I want to know what the future of work is going to look like. I want to know, when I have kids and when they graduate college, what kind of jobs are they going to have? And this is all fueled by the bad experiences that I had working for other people. And it just made me question a lot of things in my mind. Are there technologies that would enable me to work remotely? Do I really need to work 9 to 5? How come I can't make decisions for expenses or for things that I want to do? Why can't I pick conferences that I want to go to? And all these ideas just started floating around in my mind, and I just started writing about it, and I started to talk to people about it, and I started to interview companies. I just started to learn more and more and more, and I just started to share more about what I've learned. And it's a very, very exciting space because it changes all the time. We're at a very pivotal point when we think about the future of work with how everything is changing. Loyalty is changing. What it means to be an employee or a manager is changing. Organizational structures are changing. New technologies are coming into play. It's a very, very fascinating and exciting time for me and for organizations. And I'm very, very just excited about seeing what's going to happen. And so that is why I am passionate about the future of work, because I had bad experiences working for companies, and just kind of fueled my curiosity and my passion for making sure that that doesn't happen to other people. So I'm really curious to hear from you. Why are you interested in the future of work? Go ahead and leave a comment below. Do you have an interesting story about working for other people? Are you a freelancer? I get a lot of great responses to my newsletter that I send out. I get a couple comments on the videos as well. So tell me a little bit about you guys. Why are you interested in the future of work? What experiences have you had? And what are you hoping to see when it comes to the future of work going forward? I'll see you next time. Hey, are you interested in the future of work? If so, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the latest content on the future of work and stay up to date on all the latest trends and happenings. Not to mention, you will make me very, very happy. Make sure to subscribe.